What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale. It is Wednesday, and Wednesday means we go Cajun, and that's why Cory is here. We are cooking Cajun with Cory on a Wednesday.
Yes, we are.
And if you didn't laugh at the cartoon of Cory riding a bison, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right, yeah, no. I did.
I don't know what I'm doing, man.
I did.
So I am, I throw stuff in the chat GPT, and that's how I make my thumbnails. And I'm in Montana, and I was like, what can I do Montana-ish that's funny? And so Cory riding a bison popped in my head, and there it is.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Little known fact, I would 100% ride a bison.
You are one, I am not another. No way, no how, man.
There's an old, people do like voiceovers and stuff for like old shows or whatnot, make it funny. There's a thing called Guy on a Buffalo, and a dude like sings a whole song. It's some old movie or TV series or something, but it's some dude. And it was like in the probably supposed to be set like the late 1800s or something like that. So some dude looks like Daniel Boone, but he is legitimately riding a buffalo and running around like saving people and whatnot. And there's a song that goes with it. And oh my God, it's funny. It's a guy on a buffalo.
Trent Olive, I can see Cory wrangling a gator and taking it for a ride.
I don't mess with alligators. Here's why. They can swim a hell of a lot better than I can, and 9 times out of 10, they're in the water.
I've seen Cory swim. I can back that story up 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a great swim. Working on it. Going to swim tomorrow morning. I want to tell this story right quick, because you will appreciate the ever-living shit of this. So Saturday morning, we had the 9/11 Heroes Run for the Travis Manion Foundation, 5K ruck, or just 5K run, whatever. I did the ruck version with my vest, and so we went and did it, whatnot. I had to get my little one, my 7-year-old, my daughter, my light of my life, the maniac that lives in my house, to softball practice. So we got done, hung out for a little bit, and then had to jet out. Well, turns out I came in second in my age group. Cool, right? So the next morning, I'm showing Jameson my medal, and I said, "Hey, Daddy got this for coming in second yesterday at the run that we went to." And she said, "You got a medal?" And I was like, "Yeah." So she goes in her room. She comes back with the medal that they gave her for the U5 soccer that she did a couple of years ago. And she said, "Well, what did I get this for?" And I said, "Well, they gave you that just for participating in the season." And she looked and went, and as she's turning around, she said, "That's no reason to get a medal." And went and put it back in her room. Look, I'm punching the air, dude. Like my heart grew fucking 4 sizes. Oh my word. I'm having a pretty good parenting week. She said, "That's no reason to get a medal." You know what, baby? You damn right. You right. That is no reason to get a medal. Proud of her.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been so out of touch with CrossFit. And all week I've been trying to watch videos, right? Watch YouTube, whatever. And I'm not, nothing's coming up on my screen. And I'm searching different podcasters in the space, and nothing's coming up. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And so this morning I discover that the people who own the Airbnb have the Wi-Fi restricted to kids only programming. The whole Wi-Fi. And so I have not been able to catch up on things unless I click off of Wi-Fi and use my cell service to bring in the internet. So I've had to switch everything over this morning, and I finally caught up on some stuff. But good gravy. I'm like, did everybody get blocked on YouTube? Because I
Bro.
literally was searching people and nothing was coming up.
Yeah. Can't find nobody. Did everybody get kicked off at the same time? Like, what kind of coordinated shit is that?
I better check for hidden cameras. Yeah, yeah. It was I knew that we have. So we're in this Airbnb, right? And in Montana, all the houses are tiny. They're like little. I don't know how to describe it. Like they call this a bungalow, but like all the houses are this way. They're the little 2 bedroom, 1 bath houses. And so when I was trying to hook up like an AirPlay to the TV, I noticed there were other things on the list of options that were not
Mm.
in this house. And I was like, oh, so we're on a shared thing for like multiple houses
One
on the
big shared
block.
network.
No wonder I'm not getting any like fast downloads and uploads and having to do everything on 5G.
It's because me and everybody else is trying to use this internet at the same time.
Understand, my work does that sometimes. There are times my YouTube is set to a restricted mode and I can't watch certain video channels on my work computer. Yeah, but you're at work. That makes a little bit of sense. I'm here
Somewhat.
on vacation.
Yeah. I'm at an Airbnb that I paid for.
Right. But I paid for.
That's fantastic.
It's insane. So I I dove into a couple things this morning and I got a message from another media company in the space this morning saying I was semi-mentioned in something. So I've been diving around and I do want to discuss some of those things. The
Yes.
first thing, I watched the Coffee Pods and Mods with Dallin Pepper. And I really like Dallin a lot, man. Like he just and he gets it. I think he just gets it, right? With that we have a job, they have a job, and it may not be the ideal thing you want people saying about you, but he gets it. And he used the word annoyed, not like bullied, not
No,
smear
and that's
campaign.
that's fair. Like I feel like the way he characterized it was fair. Like absolutely, I could see if I was in his shoes, it could be annoying because anything you do is going to get scrutinized. But that's part of being a professional athlete.
Well, we're all annoyed by things. Like I watch stuff and I get annoyed watching, and it doesn't mean I dislike that person or that channel.
No,
It
not at
just
all.
means in that moment I got annoyed by something.
Right.
But the thing that and we're going to bring up the WFP, which means I'm probably going to get negative comments and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff. But
already. Just wait for it.
he did bring up like what he believes the pay structure is going to be like, and this is one thing that I do. If it is true, what he believes to be true is in fact going to happen. I think it's the best thing that they've done, and that is the pay structure for the contracts next year is based on your finish from this season. So if you win the WFP, you get the highest contract going into next season, and then it is tiered down, just like the games do their payouts for first
Yeah.
through 20th, right? It's done in the same manner, and if that is what they're doing, that's big kudos to WFP. That is an incentive based,
Yeah.
performance based payout that makes sense.
Good on them if that's what they're doing. I don't know if you noticed or not, but you just said something positive about them.
I'm doing the positive sandwich, man. because I'm about to go off a little bit.
Okay, I'm waiting for this.
So I get a DM from Barbell Spin asking me about or telling me to stop spreading rumors and doing a smear campaign against the WFP. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I'm on vacation. I
Yeah,
don't I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. And
legitimately.
that's before I realize I'm on restricted mode.
Yeah,
So he says, go to the WFP's newest thing and check it out. And this minute, that minute, whatever. So in that, they asked him, Seth Jumpship, who pretty much took over the whole interview and did an awesome job, was interviewing Will Morad. and he asked him about the exclusivity rumor that was out there. And Will said that those are lies. It was a smear campaign, and it was just somebody trying to get clicks. Well, that rumor started here on this show. So, and I did say in that statement that it was a rumor, right?
100%. You made that clear several times.
Right. I was not trying to start a smear campaign. And as you all know, I want the WFP to succeed, because if they can find a way to make this work, that means good things for all of us moving forward. The other part of it is the sources I had on this were multiple, they are not connected. And they said the same thing. And they what I would consider a really good source, at the very least, right?
Trustworthy.
So, and then Will goes on that people in the media do not care about the well-being of the athletes. They just want to bash them. They want to get clicks. So what I want to say is, if you are out there doing a sport in the public eye, you are setting yourselves up to be judged. You are setting yourself up to have criticism. That is why people get passionate about things, and that's why there is money to be earned in that sport. So it's my internet that's going bad.
Yeah,
I am I'm really struggling here because I don't have Wi-Fi.
It's way better than.
Way better than what?
It's way better now. You had
Okay.
you kind of broke it up a little bit, but it's much better now.
If you're in the public eye and you're trying to earn money in the public eye, doing public things, you're going to be judged. You're going to be scrutinized. And then Will said something about you don't care about their mental health. If this is going to sound super insensitive, because I'm a strong believer in strong mental health, and like I go to therapy myself, it is what it is. But if being an athlete and being judged for your athleticism is going to give you mental health problems, maybe this isn't the career for you.
That's yeah.
And this is not to make light of mental health, and I think actually his statement makes light of true mental health issues.
1,000,000%.
You are playing a game and you are earning money for that game. That should not be a mental health issue. You should know that comes with it. But I want to flip it back on the positive side. People like Dallin and Jason, who are embracing the media and who are actually using the media for their own benefit, because they create their own narratives, they control their own narratives, because they either defend themselves, make a joke about it, or or get out in front of it. They are winning in this current climate because of that. I know there's a lot there, and I probably ranted in different directions.
No, there's a lot there, but mind and body's connected, right? These are supposed to be the fittest athletes in the whole world, on the face of the planet, like literally the fittest on earth. That is the title. And granted, WFP does not crown the fittest on earth. They crown the World Fitness Project champion, or whatever the hell it's called. But we all know who they are. We all know what they are. So the fact that you're worried about their mental health because somebody might have said something negative somewhere on the internet, like, how soft is that? when people, like you said, have legitimate actual mental health issues. Like that argument is so overblown, overdone, I know people that have real mental, like actual mental stuff going on, and that lessens that so much when I hear about some athlete who heard somebody say something. And let me say this too. 90% of what, like, I saw a spin post, it was either this morning or last night. I think it was this morning. He had showed the Google search or whatever it was at WFP and at CrossFit, and like just showed what the hump was. And that's all it was just showing, hey, this is what the popularity of people searching for CrossFit is. This is what the popularity of people's, and he's getting lit up in the comments because, oh, you just posted negative stuff. It's not negative or positive. It's just a thing. If you're looking at it as in saying that it's negative, that's putting it on you to say, well, my thing is not as positive as popular as the other thing. So in my view, what you just posted is negative, and I'm gonna come at you for it. That's so silly because it's literally just statistics. It's the news. It's, hey, this is what it looked like in here. This is what it looked like in here. WFP, with 3 events culminating in a championship, is positioning themselves to be on the level of the games, right? You can't deny that. You're looking at it, that's what it is. We got 2 events that lead up to this championship. CrossFit has the open semifinals and the championship, right? So to compare the 2 things, even if we're in year 20 and they're in year 1, that's a natural thing that people are going to want to do. If you don't like the statistics, that's fine. Be better at your stuff. Be a better fan. Promote them more. Get them more popular. Do more stuff on it. But don't come at the people who are just saying, hey, here's what happened here recently. Like, that is so insane to me.
I train Olive with facts, not feelings.
Yeah.
It is natural that any new entity coming into a sports arena, right? Back in the 80s, when the USFL started up against the NFL, you compared the USFL's numbers to the NFL. When Live Golf came in and stole golfers from the PGA Tour, they were doing case studies of the ratings between a Live Golf event to the PGA events, right? That's going to happen in whatever you do, right? I mean, for years, before WFP even existed, Wadapalooza's numbers compared to CrossFit's numbers on streaming. People looked at those numbers. It's been happening for years. This is not a direct attack on you, the WFP. You put yourself in this position by coming in and competing against the CrossFit Games season. You said, we can do a structure that makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
And we think we can do it better than CrossFit, which is fine. I think that's a valid argument. But don't get upset when then people are comparing your results to what existed before. Right? That's natural.
And it doesn't matter what it is. Like you said, the golf thing, the USFL, if a new racing league started tomorrow that was going to be in direct competition with NASCAR, and instead of turning left, they turned right, it would be all over ESPN and every, Fox Sports and everywhere else for months on end, comparing the 2 things, because they're similar but different. I mean, period.
All right. This is going to take a minute. So, Lex, you can be an athlete and have mental health needs. It doesn't exempt them based on the career they choose. It's not being soft to have mental health concerns, and discrediting someone else's mental health issues versus someone else is not a good look. I am saying the exact opposite. I'm saying that there are true mental health needs, but if you're going to be a public figure in the limelight, you have to know that with that comes criticism and judgment. And I just felt like that if you already know that and you're complaining about what is known, it's making light of other people going through true hardships in this order. And I'm not saying athletes don't go through hardships. There are other hardships in life that they can be fighting through and going through. And I completely understand all of that. But to say because I said there's going to be exclusivity in the sport next year, or because the lighting is bad at your event, that's creating mental health issues, I think that's where the statement gets to be overblown and doesn't make sense.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I see a therapist once every couple weeks. I have my own mental struggles that I go through. But
everybody
right?
has them. Everybody has them. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody who might have some who happens to be a professional athlete or even a quote professional athlete. What I'm saying is that that's a horrible excuse to try to, because you're making comparisons to one thing to another. That's a horrible reason to go after somebody, to just use that. Well, what about the athlete's mental health? What about it? Are they doing okay with it? Are they taking steps to correct it? Are they doing what Scott does and go to and see a therapist? Or are they just complaining about it? Like I don't,
Yeah.
or even worse, are you just complaining about it for them? Because that's not helpful either.
I think that if Will cited specific things in the media instead of doing the blanket, the media is awful because they do X, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happens. It's these blank targets. I know personally that every time I talk about it, I get attacked from people that are big supporters of the WFP. And in most cases, I say that a constructive criticism how to make it better, or I am trying to support them. We've gone over this 100 times. I don't want to go down this road again, but it just,
it's the same thing over and over again. You can't win in a situation like that. There's nothing you can do, because no matter if you come on and you just be positive and just say puff things and they're just figuring it out and they're going as they're going along and whatnot, then they're just going to be all placated and happy, and then never going to hear anything negative, not negative, constructive. You don't want friends like that, right? You don't want friends telling you, oh no, Scott, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. No, whatever you're doing. Oh, you started doing drugs. Oh no, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it'll be okay. Like, I don't want friends in my life like that. Like, I want people who's going to hold me to the standard and try to help me to be better. And from day one, and I know we've said this a million times now, I feel like we've been talking about this for 2 months at this point. From day one, you, out of everybody else, has been, hey, I want this to work. I think this is a good thing. And everybody else was kind of, and you wanted to give them a fair shake to begin with. And as it has gone by and they've repeatedly shot themselves in the foot for whatever reason that has come by, then your view specifically has switched around a little bit. That doesn't mean you still don't want them to succeed, but you're just being honest. That's the part that drives me bananas. It's like, I can't just call it like I see it. That part drives me nuts. They don't want to hear that, or they don't see that together.
And sometimes maybe I'm just too connected to different groups in the space. Hearing what some of the volunteers went through, hearing what some of the employees went through on Tour Stop 1 and were let go before Tour Stop 2, has really jaded me in some of those respects, because I don't know. I don't think they are willing to take constructive criticism. And if you're not with them, you're against them, and they just shut you out.
Agreed.
So, and here's one more piece of constructive criticism. So in that podcast, Will explained that they were going to expand the tours stops next year, and maybe even more after that, and that eventually they would look at a system where they would take like your 3 best finishes to get your point total to qualify you for the final event, wherever that may be. This year it's in Copenhagen. Then they also talked about doing away with the challenger division and make a deeper pro field, which is happening next year. My only constructive criticism about that is, I think we found in the CrossFit space that like a 40-person field was not as enjoyable as a 30-person field because of the number of heats. You want to create this deeper field, but if now you're going to give people the options to take tour stops off because only their top 3 scores count, that field is not going to be as deep and as strong as people are taking time off. And the risk they're really going up against is if you have 20 of those 30 athletes or 40 athletes, he did not give a number,
Right.
competing in the CrossFit Games season, most likely there's a tour stop that's going to affect that season more than any other. And that tour stop, you're going to show up with none of your top athletes.
No.
Unless they have chosen to forego the CrossFit Games season and just do the WFP season. And I think that, and this is where I think like their mind may be working in the right direction, but they're not to a place where they have built their following for that to make sense yet.
I'd agree to that. 100%. It's like they want everything at once, right? Like, just give me all the things. Let's do all the things at once. And that just, for me personally, if it would have been, we're having an event, this is what we're calling it, and not being, oh, and we're adding this thing. Like, hey, this event has grown so big that we are going to do 2 events next year. And one of them is going to be a qualifier for the big event. They're both going to be in person. They're both you can make money at, to where it's natural evolution type stuff. This just seems like it's for me personally, it's almost a cart before the horse type deal. Like, okay, well, now we got 3. Well, next year we'll do 4. You know, with 3 stops and then a final, and then next year we'll do 6. And I'm like, the more you expand that, the more it overlays with the other things. Like, as somebody who competes, I've only got so many competitions in me a year. Like, the body can only take so much before people are going to start getting hurt, before people are start going, having nagging injuries that just roll over into. And there's a whole lot of CrossFit athletes out there, but I don't know if there's enough to support and to put out a decent product that people are actually going to want to pay to see. Does that make sense? Like, for everybody that drops out of the CrossFit Games season, for the elites, there's somebody there waiting to pick it up. But the reason that person is there to pick it up is because the person that was in front of them was way better and is just out for whatever reason.
I hear you. I do think they had to show a different season structure, because that is why they created this, to show that it can be done differently and more effective. Yeah. But I think they tried to put too many things in place in the first year. Like, they should not have tried to create an affiliate system. They should have focused on the one thing. If you're going to do that down the road, establish yourself as this first and then build onto it. Don't just keep throwing spaghetti noodles against the wall and seeing which thing sticks.
Yeah.
Just David Reed. I would rather focus on the games masters than if I'm bored the WFP. And that's probably where they're at. Like, but there are some people that are disgruntled with CrossFit and that they went all in as spectators to the WFP. And there are a group of people that do want that to succeed more than anything. Yeah, there's a group of us that have been in the CrossFit space for a long time and are here to support CrossFit and hope that they do things better. But we've been very critical of them. There's another group that have been so critical of them that they've teared off. They're gone. And they were looking for an alternative. And so they're all in on WFP. And I know that because they'll be in my comments tonight telling me how wrong I am about these takes.
They'll be in your comments.
And that's fine. That's their choice to do so, you know? So it's okay to like a different flavor of ice cream. It is.
So saying that, it makes me think like this flavor of ice cream will still be here. Like we're not going anywhere. So come on back. Not a big deal. We'll still be here.
Yeah. I think that the WP kind of became Rocky Road. They just threw the kitchen sink of stuff into it and they weren't ready. They didn't process everything before they did.
Yeah. Speaking of comps, Mr. Mark Moss, we'll go ahead and read that first.
Oh, yeah. I want the WFP to succeed for the athletes like Fish and Ibarra who get no income from the game season. It helps them make some money. I think it's good.
Yeah.
And, I do. That's one thing that CrossFit has done poorly. You did not get paid. You got paid more for an open finish than you did for a semifinal finish, which makes absolutely no sense.
No.
But
speaking of Mark Moss, the founder, chairman of the board, CEO, all that good stuff of Uplift. Everybody knows and loves Mark. They were he's trying to put on their first ever competition. And apparently he texted me. I just saw it. I saw him come in there earlier. They had a competition that they've been trying to put on. Actually, it was on his second date in November and it just got canceled. That's terrible. Because all the profits were going to be going to suicide prevention, which is Uplift's mission to begin with. Mark, that sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that. I'll call you later, brother.
Yeah, Mark's a great guy. Sorry that happened to him.
Sucks.
Back on this, Lido. To be honest, I think the only issue with WP is that they're just a comp, but trying to be more than a comp. I think that's kind of it. They should have just been chocolate ice cream, and instead they threw marshmallows in the mix. They threw some kind of nut in there. They threw some chocolate chips in, and then it just became muddied, right? And it is. I think that is the biggest problem. David Reed says, are the WFP supporters welcome back if that fails? I believe so. I will welcome them back.
Absolutely. I don't have hate in my heart for anybody, dude. Look, go do other stuff. I feel the same way about fitness in general. Like, I like to poke fun at people, namely Doug Reed's wife, Judy, for her Orange Theory days before she started over here, right? But if you are doing something to take care of yourself, I don't care what it is. Good on you. God gave you one body. Take care of it, right? Big fan of all that. Same thing. If you want to go and watch, what is it? The International IFF? Is that right?
IF3.
IFF? Yeah. IF3. Awesome. I've seen some of their stuff online. It's kind of hard to follow because there's one big camera and I think they were speaking some language I don't speak. But good. Like, if that's what you like, hey, bro, more power to you. It's not for me
Yeah.
because I can't follow it just because I have no idea what's going on, right? But if that's what you do, Gridley. I got one of my real good friends does Gridley, and I try to watch it when I can. Again, hard for me to follow because I don't know all the rules and all the good stuff. But if that's what they want to do, fantastic. It looks fun. If y'all want to follow the WFP in their entire season, awesome. Make it happen.
We need to lift up Megan here. She's in a cut, and we have to stop talking about ice cream. So we will support our listeners. Megan, we will stop because we want you to succeed in your cut. So good on you for being strong. And like Lex says, get a Ninja Creamy. Then you can make your own, and you don't have to. You can put like protein in there, and you don't have to put all the fatty stuff in there.
I am running out of room at my house for kitchen gadgets. I just bought, and you're gonna laugh at me, I just bought a rice cooker like 3 weeks ago. We've been making rice on the stove for the past 5 years. And we bought like the big ginormous one. And that was the big question is like, okay, where are we gonna put it? Because we got that and the air fryer and the slow cooker and got a fry daddy at my house somewhere. Like, it's all the things.
Yeah, I have one. I broke down. I love it.
What, a Ninja Creamy?
I only use it maybe once a month now. But I can make a healthy version of ice cream. Kind of gets me that flavor, and then I can kind of move on.
So you just substitute protein powder? Like, you just put your protein powder in there? Like, I don't know how it works.
It's a lot more complicated than that. If you like sugar, usually I use sugar-free Jell-O. I use like an oat milk and then protein powder, and there's some other stuff you have to kind of throw in to make it kind of set up. But there are recipes everywhere on the internet.
I'm not against it. I'm a big fan of the stuff that shall not be named while Megan's still here.
Jay Birch, you just sprinkle, like, literally, it's like a teaspoon of the Jell-O mix into it. And all it does is it helps it kind of firm up, and it gives some of the flavor to it.
Yeah, so
it's the Jell-O pudding mix, not the Jell-O wiggly stuff. Unless you want, the wiggly.
Unless you're into the wiggly stuff. Wiggly stuff gets you jazzed. By all means, use that. Oh. Milk and protein powder. Mark, is that all you need, really and truly? I really do want one, dude. Like, I am a big fan. Like, I used to, when I was doing RP back in 2018, I did my first cut with RP. And the RP would make you, not make you, but you could have not, what is it? It's a different kind of, it'll come to me in a minute. But anyway, you can make like a pudding with it, and you put it I put it in the freezer at night. That'd be my nighttime snack before I go to bed. And I always remember thinking, like, if I had some sort of quick ice cream machine type deal, that would work a whole lot better. And now there's this Ninja Creamy thing. Casein. That's it. Amanda's got it. Casein pudding. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I used to make that. I'm not a pudding fan, though, so that never.
That's why I would throw it in the freezer. Like, throw it in the freezer for an hour. Like, make it before dinner. Throw it in the freezer for an hour or whatever. Dude, that was jam up. Yeah, it is the RP staple.
Yeah. So Tier Cup's coming up this weekend. We're kind of running out of time. I had it on the list to talk about. I'm not going to be able to watch a lot of it because I'm going to be on a plane most of Saturday.
I was going to say probably because your internet's restricted to kid stuff. But
yeah, I'll be able to watch Friday night maybe a little bit, and then I'm going to be on a plane
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I may try to catch up. We'll be home Saturday night late, and then I'll try to catch up Sunday morning so we can recap it all on Sunday night CrossFit Talk. See what goes on there. But yeah, so we'll talk about it. I am too. I think it was funny hearing Dallin talk about the lift and how, like, if he has to go up against Gee, does it even matter?
He said, I know who's going to win that. So,
and that's, I think it's interesting though, that like Olivia's there now and she could actually compete with Tia, on those lifts. But in my head, like, I guess everybody has to be spread out. I'd almost rather have Olivia on like Isabel or Grace because she will crush that rather than the max lift.
Yeah, moving weight for time, moving large loads, long distances, that type of deal. Yeah, no, she's really good at that. Hey,
Mark
bro.
Moss says, I thought he was a good Christian dude. Now I think he's just hateful.
Hey, I saw a stat about an hour before we went on. Go ahead and read that.
He said that I saw Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams have close to the same stats this year thus far in the NFL. I don't even make me go off here because
Spencer is actually top 10 right now with 2 losses. Is top 10 quarterbacks in the league. He's like 9th with 2 losses. Our defense is horrendous.
Are Grace and Isabel at the regular weights? It's not heavy, Isabel.
It's not heavy.
I know it's not like, I don't. But I don't think it's at the regular weight either. I think it's somewhere in between the two.
Yeah.
But I
haven't seen a whole lot about the workouts themselves. I saw, like, obviously the team, the team drama, quotation marks.
Yeah, I can't do 2 screens. And they have so many posts up right now.
Let's see.
I'm trying to pull it up, at least so I can see it. The Oli show. It is. They don't have the weights listed.
Of course not.
Nope. No weights listed. Sorry, guys.
So just for argument's sake, we'll say no. How about that? It's 136, 97.
There you go. Now Mark Phillips is on my list. Everybody's coming after the Bears. That's the only thing I've been able to watch because of my restricted access. I get lots of Bears videos.
Lots of Bears videos.
I will say this about
Chicago
Caleb.
Bears, not like
Caleb. Correct. Not like bears in the wild.
Not polar bears.
No. This is what I'm going to say about Caleb. He's getting better every week. If the receivers would run the right routes, his stats would be a lot better. That's all I'm going to say. And that's from watching others show tape and analysis from all of that.
We could say that same thing about Rattler. He had his receivers dropping balls, man. Having said that, again, the Saints have no defense basically whatsoever. So there's that.
Annie Shoup, frozen casein has been my nightly staple for 7 years. Yeah.
I think the last time I actually had any casein protein was 2 houses ago, which has been a minute.
that stuff, man, you put too much in and it gets thick.
Yeah, thick, quick.
I'm going to leave with this. Last night, my daughter took us out to play Singo. It's a bingo game with your card is full of songs, and a
Oh,
DJ plays music. And when you hear your song, you dab it off on your bingo card. And last night's theme was 1985. And my daughter was embarrassed that my wife and I knew every single song that was
man.
played. I mean,
What do you expect, Corey? Good Lord.
I mean, I was 15 years old in 1985, a sophomore in high school. Of course, I knew every single song that was played.
Yeah.
And we still didn't win because technology allows these young kids to Shazam every song.
Dude, I
But
was
we were
8. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, I was 8 in 85, and I probably know all of those songs.
Yeah, but it was a blast, man. Just like singing along with the music, and the crowd would sing along to everything, and it was just a good time. And yeah, people were 6 and 8, -6.
Yeah, I said Mark was -6 in 85. Oh, Mark's great.
You
Mark is a
youngins.
great human being.
Jaybirch was 17, so he's only 2
Jaybirch-
years older than me.
And I say he's finna graduate in 85.
Yeah, he probably his prom song was one of the ones played last night.
Oh,
He would have been sitting there singing along with my wife and I.
My wife would have my wife, fun fact, loves bingo. Loves bingo. Like anytime we get an opportunity to play, she is down. However, if it was 1985 music bingo, she would want to fist fight me by the end of it because she's not great with song titles, especially not from stuff from back then. Like her mom sheltered them when they were children, like they couldn't watch the Smurfs, and I did not make that up. She wouldn't let them watch the Smurfs. You've seen the Smurfs, Scott. They're blue. They're this big, like total kids cartoon.
I have PTSD from the Smurfs, so we can move on.
Moving right on along. I'm tired of hearing
it was a really good time.
Dude, that sounds awesome. For real. That sounds awesome.
So, with that, guys, I'll be back tomorrow if I can get some decent cell service again. We'll see.
No.
Yeah.
Throwing up prayers for you right now.
Because I can't do anything with Wi-Fi.
Apparently not.
Man, with that. All right, guys. It's been a blast. As always, love you all. We are literally 54 subscribers away from 3K. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd like to get to 3K before the end of the year. That'd be really awesome. With that, we'll see everybody next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale. Sure.